Today I sat down with Steve Dinsdale, who is our resident psychic and medium here at BBR. Amongst others, we have lots of talented folk. Steve and I were having a conversation, as we often do. Steve is a witness. He saw the brig bogman, and he's also had an experience throughout his life with paranormal or spiritual messages. This is a private conversation between me and Steve, but as you are a member of Combo Box YouTube or one of my patrons, this is exclusive for you. It shows you kind of what goes on behind the scenes, and I think you'll enjoy the conversation as well. Right.
For me, the messages that I've got through over the past couple of days. I mean, you know me. I'm not 100% confident with my ability,
No,
but I'll always say what I pick up and what I think.
Yeah.
And some of the messages that I've got, it's really emotional.
I can understand. I don't think people see that side of it. For me, I tried explaining to someone in the week that every time we have an interaction with spirit or energy, it kind of leaves a little mark. You give yourself to that spirit, and they leave a little bit with you. And we have to go through those emotions because we feel them.
Yeah.
Like they're our own. So one of the reasons I've got you on tonight, as we were chatting earlier, so many people reached out to me. They got so much comfort, Steve, from what you told them. Yeah. A number of them, I actually got them here. I pulled some of them up tonight so I could read them to you if you don't mind.
Brilliant. No, brilliant. Yeah.
Get them up for you. 1 second. It's my laptop doing its normal thing. My friend Claire, she actually lives on the other side of the moor from me, Claire. She lives Oldham Way. And she messaged me and she said, Debbie, this was really, really important to me tonight. I really needed to hear what Steve had to say. She's put, this was perfectly timed for me tonight, Deb. With some things I've been going through, really helpful advice. Thanks to both of you. And I think I want to read these out to you, Steve, because as you say, it's a learning curve having this ability. None of us are born with it and given a pamphlet. We're born with it and we have to work it out as we go through life. So knowing that you've got it right, and B, that you brought a little bit of comfort to people, I think that's really important. So Medusa says, hi Debs, I collect fridge magnets. I also have 2 ceramic white owls passed to me by my great uncle. Now make me come back to that one, Steve, because I've got something really important to tell you. Classic Lima, that's my mate Steve. He says, I remember those Smith's crisps, Deb. And for anyone who's watched the interview, my dad came through when I was talking with Steve, and he was giving my mum some Smith's crisps, which is her birthday today, actually. Happy birthday.
Bless.
Yeah. And then we've got Lauren says to me, hi Deb, I'm listening to the show after it aired a couple of days ago. The day it aired, I picked up a barred owl feather from the road that I was walking on with 2 corgis that I've been walking for more than 3 years now. I put that white owl feather in the beads hanging from my rearview mirror. I have a history of having strange experiences with white owls at various times over the years. And she goes on to speak about her dad, who's called Jim. And she said he lived on Peterson Hill Road.
Wow. Which
is absolutely wonderful, isn't it? And then Soul to Soul says, I'm born to Romany Gypsy travellers and I was adopted, as were all my siblings. I've always been psychic with premonitions coming through. Yeah, I too, it's like Steve, I just get downloads.
Yeah.
And when I work with spirit, I ask for a memory link. So that might be a hint for you, Steve, to ask spirit for a memory link. And they just go on and on and on like that. Now, you don't know this, and I haven't told you this, but at Christmas, on Christmas Eve, I lost one of my oldest friends, Alan. Most people know him as Freddie. And he passed away at home very comfortably, absolutely wonderful. But his name was Al. And my mother-in-law, who collects fridge magnets and drives everybody mental with her fridge magnets, you said to me, I couldn't say anything. I was just so stunned. It was just so... And I thought, that's Al. Oh, my God, it's Al. And he said, like, he had a message for Pat, who had the fridge magnets. And I was like, that's Al, and that's my mum-in-law. And, like, that meant so much to me. Because he's only just You know, it's still raw. And he's one of my oldest friends, you know, and I've kind of gone through a UFO experience with him that a lot of people don't understand.
Mm.
So for you to have come up with that is unbelievable.
Wow.
So have you got anything else for us tonight that you don't mind sharing?
I have.
Brilliant.
Like we said on the last chat we had, I mean, I think it was 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, about that.
Everything happens as a download, and I'm trying my best to actually learn how to. Now, thanks to you, thanks to you, Deb, to actually learn how to deal with it, because it's gone on for so long, and you get kind of like a backup in your brain of all this information and stuff that's coming through. And I don't know. You know, it's like I said tonight. It's tonight. I don't know. There's a lot of emotion tonight. I feel it. I feel it now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know why, but I think it's because maybe a lot of people are waiting for these messages. I don't know. I mean, I've been to some psychic nights and stuff like that, and I've left cold. Because I don't believe 100% what has actually come across.
Yeah. Okay.
All I can say to you and the viewers listening, that 100% honestly, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, and the messages that are coming through. I think there's a lot of people tonight who, or when this is actually broadcast, are going to feel quite emotional too. I'm so pleased that the messages that we had, a month ago have resonated with so many people. I never know how it's gonna, because I'm trying to deal with it. And
you're trying the things, you're coming to terms with having this ability.
Yeah.
Trying to learn how to manage it, and then learn how do we trust it? Which bits my self-conscious, which bits for me? Having to learn all of that with no teaching, because there's no school out there to teach you. It's a lot.
No, absolutely not. I'm just so pleased that obviously I've met you and the people who are going to listen to this broadcast, because I think that the message that I've got since last week, I've kind of like every time I get something, I've wrote it down. And you'll have to excuse me that I'm just going to go over to my other screen.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it.
Hopefully, I'm going to say these things, then hopefully some other people it will resonate with them. But the family name Seymour definitely comes to me, and that John, the name, it's a standard name, John, but John Seymour needs to talk to his family. That's the first thing. That's actually the first thing that came to mind, or came to me the first time we did the interview like a month ago. But this next one is an interesting one. I got 12 bells, and I'm thinking 12 bells, and then there's a white-haired lady, and I'm thinking she was the landlady of a pub. I'm sure that was called the 12 Bells. And also, I think there was like a white Scotty dog, the small dogs with the tartan collar.
Yeah, like our look.
There was something to do with that pub. And then as I carried on through that night, I love my sleep. I love my sleep, Deb. But that night, it was kind of like the names that were coming forward were more family names. Daniel Phillips was a name that came to me. I don't know why. I don't know why it was the name Daniel Phillips, but also the name Acaster came to me as well. But
Right.
also leading on to that, there was a lady called Rita. Now Rita always dyed her hair. And you know, it was a lady thing, and it was more 70s, 80s. She
Yeah.
dyed her hair, and it was like when it grew out, it was like a half and half. Um, you know, it was like half black, half white.
Like
But
mine. Yeah.
I don't
Gypsy
have
hair.
that problem. I don't have that problem. But Rita needed to speak to Derek.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I think that Rita and Derek. I don't think that they were a couple. I think Rita and Derek were from two different families, but should have been a couple.
Yes. Yeah, I get you.
That's what I think with that.
Yeah.
But Rita, she definitely 100%. She owned a cafe. And Derek, I don't know whether it was like one of her regulars that came in for a bit of
Mm. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Happiness.
yeah, absolutely. But that's what I think with that. But then now I go back, um, I go back to the time where there was Coleman,
Right.
and
Yeah.
there was a Coleman that delivered. Um, I'm thinking maybe to your neck of the woods, like to Yorkshire, Lancashire, to the Blackburn area.
Yeah.
But the name of Charlie, who was a coal man. But then, as I was thinking about Charlie, Rita came back to me again,
Right.
and she was kind of like interfering with what I was trying to think
Yeah.
with Charlie. But then there was an older chap. I'm saying mid-70s, called Morris,
Right.
and he had a massive problem with I'm not going to say asthma, but it was something to do with a lung condition that he got through working with either asbestos or
Mm.
something like that. I'm thinking he was somebody who um, maybe took down asbestos buildings or something. He
Mm.
came through on that same night as well. But last week, this is 100%. I know this.
Mhm.
Um, I got a family that was so massively into rugby that all
Right.
through the house there was like rosettes and trophies, and
Yeah.
everything in the house revolved around rugby. There was no football. There was no
Just rugby.
nothing else. That person's name in the house that was lost was called Gavin,
Right.
and the family think that he should have been a rugby star. He should have been a star for like Wakefield or somewhere like that,
Right.
or for the English, rugby team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his life was cut short through a rare condition to do with the neck and arteries. It was nothing to do with a rugby injury.
Right.
He had to stop doing what he was doing, and but it was through something to do with the neck, the arteries in the neck to his brain, and that's how the family lost him.
No. Oh.
That that is 100%. And the house was kind of like
No.
raucous with
But
rugby.
I can understand that because there are families like that, aren't there, that just really
Yeah,
enjoy the game, whether that be, football or rugby. I'm sure
yeah.
these messages will mean something to people out there. I really do. I
I'm
mean, one of the
hoping so.
things I want to encourage tonight, Steve, is that I'm going to put your email below in this description because me and Steve have been chatting, and I think he needs to speak to you himself because there might be some personal stuff that shouldn't
Mm,
really come out on air, that should be between Steve and the person that he's sat chatting with. And Steve's very kindly said that he will
yeah,
do that. We also have a WhatsApp, so if you're not great at sitting down with people, you can WhatsApp us. and you'll need to email me to get into that WhatsApp group. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want people to know that if they're out now, scribbling down quickly, like I need to let Deb know this. Steve's not going to disappear on us, but he's going to be joining us on some live feeds, and he's going to be popping in and little shows like this. I'm going to keep you up to date on what's coming in for him. So now I've rudely interrupted you, Steve.
No, it's like you said a month, 3 or 4 weeks ago, a month ago, that it's almost like a download. For me doing this, it's me saying, look, this is the information that I've got. Please take me 100% as I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm honest, and tonight is so emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just how I feel.
Yeah, things happen as they should, Steve. They should.
But it's for a lot of people who are experiencing maybe a loss or something like that.
Yeah.
But the next one, God, it made me laugh. Do you remember the group Crosby, Stills and Nash from like the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
The song Our House by Crosby, Stills and Nash means so much to a family. I've not got a family name. They seem to be really, really private.
Yeah. But
they say it's as if that song was written for them.
Yeah.
But with the cats in the yard and stuff like that, I've listened to it a few times. I think, yeah, I can resonate with what they're saying.
Yeah, I can see you feeling it as well, aren't you? You're going through the
emotion. Yeah. But sorry.
No, this is how it is. People need to see the raw side.
Yeah. But this is
there's been times, Steve, where I've done readings and I've had my head between my knees because it's been spinning and spinning, and I've had to say, right, stop. I've had times when snot's poured down my nose. There's nothing you can do. They just got to see this rawness. This is what it's like for people like me and you.
It is. It just comes.
Yeah.
But the Crosby, Stills and Nash song, it's an elder gentleman who says to his family, very, very private person, and he says, "What is done is done." And I honestly don't know what he means by that.
No, but they.
Yeah, I mean it's Crosby, Stills and Nash. It's Our House, and he says that what is done is done. We are private. And that's how it needs to stay.
Yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, you're still the same person when you pass.
Yeah. And last week it kept on coming.
Right.
I'm kind of like between jobs at the moment, but today was good news. It was good news day. From 4 o'clock this afternoon, it was good news.
Fantastic!
Yes. It was. It's like they say with buses. You wait for one, and there's 3 that come along at the same time.
The universe divine. The universe.
I've had 3 job offers in one day, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
So,
you're helping people. What people need to see when we do what we do, me and you, and they go home or we leave their house or we click on offline, it's still there for us. We still have to process the emotion, and sometimes that spirit will stay around for a little bit, and we have to deal with all of that. So finding a good work balance, so you will now have to fit this in around your job and family and everything else that you've got on. Finding a balance with that is the best advice I can give you.
To me, this is absolutely amazing because the messages that I get, I can pass them on. Simple as that. Like I say, I'm still learning. I'm still an amateur, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm doing my best. That's all. I've ever done.
more of you than that, my mother used to tell me. As long as you
Yeah.
put your effort in, Deb, nobody can ask any more of you than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been around when you've messaged me and I've said, no, phone's off, I'm away with Mark. I'm staying with
Yeah.
Mark. I'm having time with Mark today. Or like yesterday when I took the kids to the beach. You've got to do that. You've got to have those normal moments so you can get back in the fight.
Yeah, you needed time just to refresh your head. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
But going back from the Crosby, Stills and Nash, another gentleman came through. It was the same night. I think it was last Tuesday. But the thing is, the gentleman is looking for a hearing aid, and it's one of the old style ones that was probably around in the 70s and 80s. He lost it. But he never said to his family that he'd lost it because he didn't want to cause a fuss, and that was the thing. He didn't want to cause a fuss.
Yeah. I didn't want to. Yeah.
It was like maybe like a transparent top, with a brown bottom, but he'd lost it, and I think his family. You say to him, "Oh." Where is it? And it's in my drawer.
But away somewhere.
It never was because he couldn't find the thing.
It's a bit like
me. As well, this next one. I'm saying, please. Does anybody remember a gentleman who was in their family that would used to wear a brown corduroy jacket? There was maybe around definitely in the 70s, but when he passed, this corduroy jacket, it's a brown sandy coloured corduroy jacket, and in his pocket there were some tickets. Now I'm going to say that the tickets were for a football match.
Right.
I have got absolutely no more information than that, but apart from a brown corduroy jacket with tickets that are in the pocket.
I can't wait for people to write in, or at least comment below, and then I can say, right, here's his email, get in touch with him, and then
please, please
discuss these things, because you'll find as you sit down with people like Rita, you'll get some spirit that come back time and time again, because you're easy to find now.
I'm hoping so, because it'll help me as well. It really will. But now this was like Friday into Saturday night, and I'm used to now saying, look, I need my time, to be part of my family. But these girls, two ladies, my God, these two ladies met at school,
right?
Very, very young, but they had the most raucous time from leaving school to growing up and having their own families. That they both had a charm necklace, half and half.
Friendship,
But one of the necklaces went over to Europe, and I'm definitely going to say Spain for this one. One of the ladies went over to Spain. I'm sorry, but I've got no names at all, and I'm not going to make anything up. I have absolutely got no names at all for this, but it was definitely the necklace.
Will be the reminder. Yeah, that will be the trigger.
Jane.
Right, Jane.
Yeah, but Jane doesn't know that the other lady has passed.
Right, I get you.
They've got half one of these charm necklaces. Yeah, but it's Jane. The name for that is Jane.
So you're asking, you receive. That's what you say. I've got no name, and the name just comes, and you just trust that. Just trust it. It's hard. It's really hard. Yeah,
it's hard, and it is what it is. Now, the last one that I got today, while I was cooking tea, because I knew we was going to do this chat, and I thought I'll have just
Get
10
me
minutes sat outside and just see what happens. Now, the name Diane comes to mind for this one. Maybe the name Ellis as well after that.
Mm-hmm.
But Diane will definitely remember the name from her mum singing. Do you remember the nursery rhyme? Polly, put the kettle on.
And we'll all have tea.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. That resonates with somebody. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
yeah.
remember sitting on I was close with my nan, really close with my nan. And I remember sitting on her knee, and she used to sing that to me, and the fish one, big bob, bottom, bottom, bottom.
Yeah.
That was one of the songs she used to sing to me. Yeah.
That was the last thing that came to me tonight while I was just sorting tea and the dogs out. So yeah,
You're doing
Polly,
it intuitively, because obviously I wanted to say that to you, because we don't, for all we talk a lot, we don't get to talk face to face a lot.
yeah,
You've come to it intuitively, and you're jotting things down now,
yeah,
because it's impossible to remember it all. You just
yeah,
jot it down. So if there's anyone out there going through the same thing, just make a little note. Just get yourself a journal and just make a
yeah,
little note of these things that pop into your mind. And you'll find eventually that they will come up. There'll be a
yeah,
conversation where they'll come up, and you'll be like, actually, I wrote that down. I was interviewing with John the other night, the chap who does Combo Box with me.
yeah,
And I suddenly thought Cornwall, and as he was talking, I could hear it, Cornwall. So I just wrote it down. Like me and you, and then we're talking, and then it came in, and I said to him, "You're not going to believe me, but look what I wrote on my pad about
yeah,
10 minutes ago." And that's the only way you can do it. And we get it wrong, we get it mixed up.
yeah,
We might get areas that we think are a name for an area, and it's a name for a person. These regional words that you don't understand, these family nicknames. It's a really complicated
yeah.
process,
It is. If anybody can help me as well, then I'll appreciate it. I really, really would.
I think there is. I think there's a few people out there that I can put you in touch with. At least, I'm thinking of Judith. Definitely, Judith taught me how to find not a safe place. That's the wrong word, but how to find a place in me that I could go to when everything got too much.
Yeah.
And lots of different people have tried to do that with me, and nothing, absolutely nothing. But it worked with her. And we still bounce backwards and forwards between each other, because I need her every now and again. And I'll say, look, I'm at the point where I'm ready for walking away. And
Yeah.
she'll be like, come on, let's break it down. Let's go to that place. Let's see what you need to do. So yeah, I think if there's anyone out there who, they'll be getting messages themselves probably for you, or people will be saying, he means me, I need to contact him, I know that. Both our emails are in the description below. And you can get in touch with him there. And like I say, I can always pop you over to him on WhatsApp, and you can have a private chat.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you comfortable is how we're happy to do it. And same for Steve. As long as you're going to keep my Steve comfortable, then I'm happy to give you his name and his details.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, whatever I can do to help, and also the listeners and the viewers can help me as well.
Well, so on that note, you had an experience at Brig. You saw the Brig Bogma.
Yes.
On the video that we did, when me and you were chatting, when your messages had come through, somebody had actually wrote in the comments that I might actually still have them here. And they'd gone to Lawton Woods.
Lawton Woods, yes.
Yeah, it's on here. 1 second, let me find it. This is how many people contacted me. It's a really big, long list. No, but yeah, Lawton, I can't find it in the minute. He said that he'd been to Lawton Woods and felt really eerie.
Yes.
And I said to you, it might be worth next time you're out having a check there. And you said that's like almost on my doorstep.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I've heard a lot of stories about Lawton Woods and the things that people have experienced, My daughter, she's our youngest daughter. She's developing more and more of what I have over the past year, to the point where I think if I give her a little bit more support, and another year, she'll be up to speed in where I am now.
She'll be confident. Yeah, she'll be
Yeah,
confident.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's picking up on a lot, which is brilliant. But the stories of Lawton Woods, yeah, I mean, I've been through there quite a few times. It is a very, very active place, definitely.
Well, I'm
It's a
thinking
place.
if I could get down to you at some point over the summer, me and you could both go.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very, very, I would say, oppressive and
Right.
intimidating environment. There's quite a few places in Scunthorpe and the Scunthorpe area where I've had experiences. I mean, the best one for me in Scunthorpe was a place called Botsford Beck. We took a team down there about 12 years ago, but I just started getting into the paranormal. And Botsford Beck, it's if people want to Google it, please do. There's a bridge from St Peter's Church in Botsford, the bridge over the Beck into like a wooded area.
Right.
And you can almost feel the oppression. I'd love for you to come, Deb. I really would, because
Yeah, I'm trying to get down there. Yeah.
because I think that was actually more active than what Lawton Woods would be. But for me, learning at the time again, crossing over that bridge and going into the woods, a lot of people experienced that it was like going back. It was going back to probably the 1800s,
Right.
where, how can I put it? There was probably today, and then you went round, and it was like going back in time, going up into the woods, where there was ploughs, and there was the maidens and the maids in like the hoods.
Yeah, the mock cap.
Yeah, the milkmaids outfits, as it were, and that was probably one of the first things that I experienced, and I really enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to come down. I mean, you know me. I say that people meet for a reason. So the fact that we can visit the area where you had your report. I'd love to stand there and get a feel of it myself, and put my thoughts out there. If he wants to contact me, where I am. I'm just as available as Steve is. If you've got anything to say to me, I'd like to get a feel of the place as well, and also really to say to your daughter. You hear a lot of advice over the years. Listen to all of it, and then you choose what you want to do. Because it's like everybody's great at telling you how to do it their way, and you shouldn't do it this way. You have to do it that way, or you shouldn't do it this way. You have to do it that. No, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Unique to each of us. It's like our DNA. Nobody else out there can do what I can do. Nobody else out there can do what you can do. It's unique to that individual.
Absolutely.
She's already opened up to you about what's going on around her, and that she's seen and experienced, and you've accepted that. That's massive. That doesn't happen for everybody.
Yeah.
But a lot of parents will say that's just your imagination, or stop being silly, or you being naughty, or So the fact that you've accepted that she's if I'd have had that, I think I'd have been a different person. I'd have trusted it when I were a younger age. And
she wants to experience more. She does.
Yeah, and she will.
She said to me, she'd like to go to the places that I used to go, and visit and experience what I've experienced.
I've never said this online to anybody before, and I'm going to say it now, and it's true. And if I get upset, I'm sorry, but it's just one of those subjects. I never went on a paranormal investigation with my dad. My dad had his own experiences, and I had all of my experiences. He struggled with his, and I struggled with mine, and we never came together on it at any point. So for me to have maybe gone on an investigation with him might have been amazing, because we've had a different, a different link together. We never did, because we were both taught it was something that you were ashamed of and that you had to hide and things like that. So what you're doing for her is massive, absolutely massive. That will go down the generations, because our DNA doesn't stop with us, Steve. So if
absolutely.
her offspring are going to have abilities, and so on, so forth down the generation. So you started a new, what's the word to use? I'm not sure. It's like a pioneer, but you've changed your family for good.
Yeah.
Because you've accepted her as she is.
And she knows. I mean, when we first started doing the paranormal, it was our eldest daughter that always used to come out with us.
Yeah.
But over the past year, it's the youngest one. I mean, I say youngest. She's in her late 20s, but she's the one that's developed the powers.
Yeah.
To actually feel, and I can't underestimate the word feel, because she does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, that means everything. But also, just while we're chatting, I don't know if somebody who's listening to this had a brother. It's a brother that used to make model airplanes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The old World War II, and there was always painted by hand, and it would buy them from like a model shop. Daniel, I think, who, I don't know, he used to buy them from a model shop, and his pride and joy was a grey model on a stand,
right,
like that. The aeroplane, the grey aeroplane, would be on the stand. Like that. The stand would maybe just be a little bit of a bit of an angle to it. But that's what I feel at the moment. Is somebody who used to go to a model shop and actually hand paint because it was his hobby, a model.
Yeah, it's understandable, isn't it? There's a lot of goes into those models. When you pour your passion into something, I think that comes across. It's what people remember about you, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
Like, obviously, when I die, people are going to say, "Oh, Deb, she was into paranormal, she was into Bigfoot and stuff like that," And you hope that you remembered when you pass on. But like you said, your youngest daughter is a similar age to my youngest daughter.
Yeah.
And the chalk and cheese. My oldest daughter was like me. It was started very negatively for her, and went even more negative as it carried on. She's coming out of that now, and she's starting to see, that there's a process to it, and you have to work to it. My youngest daughter took to it like a duck to water. I've never had to teach her, and she's just always done it herself. Always trusted, never doubted herself. Really, I wouldn't say. And it's like she's like a duck to water. She's different for all of us. I see it in my grandchildren. My granddaughter,
absolutely,
and she's a young witch, so because she's always seen me do spells and do what I do, I know that she's far more powerful than I am. I know it. I can feel it. She's going to be a lot more powerful than I was. But even my grandson, and like you, myself and my daughter, we sat down and we had the discussion, and we don't deny them that this is their magic, this is their self. So these things that they're experiencing are normal, and Nan doesn't have an answer for them. Nan can't tell you, what it is. I can tell you the theories, kids, but I don't even understand myself why it happens. It just happens in our family.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we can do. So now I've got a 10-year-old grandson who's taking reports from his friends. Seriously, one of his friends saw a UFO. He's a little child. Nobody believes him.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
There was a time when they were out on the field and they heard this chattering talk, and every time they tried to get near it, it moved. Nobody believes them because they're children. And for him, it's like, well, things like this happen. I remember my granddaughter, she must have been 7 or 8, and she'd come in and she was mad. She was livid, as we say. She was fuming. And she'd come in, and I said, what's wrong? And she went, someone's been throwing stones at me down there on that field. And like, they'd come from the left-hand side, and I'd go root in the grass, and then they'd come from the right-hand side. And somebody was literally pelting her with stones. And it's name, and she was really mad at it, which I think is why I didn't frighten her. She was really more mad than anything, that she just thought it was other children that was, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Gran Canaria in 1999, and my wife, she hates flying, and she was sat next to me, and our two daughters were in front of us on the plane, and we were just coming into land, and I was on the window seat, and I looked out the window, and there was a grey silver object whizzing past the aeroplane, and a lot of people on the aeroplane saw it.
Yeah.
And I kind of like prodded our eldest daughter at the front and says, "Look out the window." And she saw exactly what we were all seeing. This grey silver object just whizzing past the aeroplane as we came into land. And when we landed and we got checked in and had a sleep, and the next day, you know, you go to the news agents in the hotel, and it was like UFOs spotted over Gran Canaria.
Right.
Yeah, bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But I'll never forget what I saw. I mean, it was absolutely whizzing past the aeroplane.
Yeah, you hear people say that, don't you? It's a speed.
Yeah.
My husband said when he saw it, it went like gone.
Well,
And he was like, "There's nothing, Debbie. There's nothing on earth can move like that."
Yeah.
And for them, they all had each other's objects in their hand. They lost memory before they went to the garage to buy something. And when they all came to, they were like head to head in a crucifix shape on top of the barrow.
Yeah.
And they had each other's items. So
Wow.
Mark had in his hands like a Scotch egg, and that was for Lee, and Lee had Mark's thing, and basically almost as if they'd been put back. Wrong is the only way. And they had quite a lengthy missing time. He's not sure if it was like an hour and a half, but they were missing a various amount of time. Walked home. I said to him, "What, did you discuss it?" He went, "No."
Yeah.
They just walked home. They were that shook up. He said they felt drunk.
Yeah.
But poor Billy, you chat with in the BBR chat, he saw a UFO, and it was that bad that he ended up in hospital in ICU. He had radiation poisoning.
Wow.
Honest to God, I've got the hospital notes. He sent me everything. Photographs of him in the hospital and all sorts. And he's clearly gotten too close, because they said that they couldn't understand how he got so much radiation actually within his system, which is frightening, isn't it, when you think about it?
Unreal. Yeah. Absolutely unreal. No, good stuff.
Yeah. Well, if it's okay with you, I'm going to bring it to a close now. Don't go anywhere, Steve. I'm just going to say good night to the viewers. As I said, I'm going to repeat it again. If you've got information that you think Steve needs, or Steve's got information for you, you can find his email and my email in the description below. If you're struggling with that, leave a comment. And then I'll find a way of getting you to Steve. And if you're happy to talk to him on WhatsApp or text him, then that's easy enough for me to do. But I would like to thank you very much, and you will definitely be back. Yeah. No doubt with more messages for the viewers. So
hope so. Yes, hope so.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.